Hello, welcome back, everybody. Today we've got another situation battle, actually. That's why I've got the Xeon uniform. So this is a double Zeta-themed situation battle in the... Oh, I forget the technical name for it, but it's the less destroyed of the two city maps that they had back when the game first launched. I am in, I believe, the Dwudge here. I went poking around. There's a bunch of different Dom types that I can never quite remember the names of. This one, I believe, is the Dwudge, though. Which, if it is, in fact, the Dwudge, though, that also means there's other weapons I don't end up using on them, because I can't find them on my quick swaps, which is a little bit weird, so I might have to poke around and figure out which one this was. Yeah, maybe I'm off about that. Regardless, this one is the one that has the bazooka. It's got the... what do they call it? The flash beam chest thing. Yeah, the stunning beam in the chest. So bazooka that you can see, it stuns there. It's got the heat saber, and then it's got the what do they call it? The tomahawk. Yeah, heat tomahawk. It's not a beam-based weapon. That does a lot of big damage if you can manage to actually hit with it, which we will get some hits. I think I might have nicked the shield that time. It wasn't quite clear to me. One of the things I gotta get used to with this, because I don't take this thing out very much, like a lot of suits, admittedly, but one of the things I really gotta get used to in this match is with the tomahawk. One of the best sort of loops you can do with this is you stun, you do a downswing with the saber, and then you get the big, huge downswing with the tomahawk. But the ready-up time on the Tomahawk is crazy, and I always forget that. Trying to get a good hit around my ally there. Did manage it. He finished him off before I could get set up with the Tomahawk. As you can see there, it's got the pretty decent ready-up time for melee weapons, so he was able to swoop in and get that. I got the kill with the Tomahawk. There, we can finally see that downswing in action. Can't see its full range of damage because, well, the enemy was already pretty dinged up before I even got that hit. I did get the stun. I am surprised I didn't end up getting tackled. Looks like his tackle was just a little late, but he ultimately took us out, sadly, so couldn't really follow up and finish him off. We did at least hit him, though. That's something, but we took a little bit too much damage trying to get up to him in the first place. So the rest of our team seems to be doing all right, so that's a good thing at least. We're going to come in here and get some support fire down on the enemy positions, try to disrupt, try to keep them from moving too much, which maybe doesn't matter that much since there's only two of them currently on the map, but even so, it's something we can do while waiting for the suit to spawn in, so got a little bit of fire. I'm going to move over here. I believe I move around the buildings to the side here right about now. Because most likely my ally took out the pilot that had spawned in. Yeah, so I'm going to pull back here behind the buildings so that I'm in a position where I can move up pretty quick onto the rear line of the enemies that are spawning in right now without having to cross that huge open area up front first. Because as you might have noticed, I am really kitted more for close range. Here, I try to move in with the Tomahawk, but as you can see, it takes so long to ready up. I couldn't ready it up before his... stagger was up. He unfortunately dodge rolled through that, but I did manage to get a swing with the heat saber, but I'm still getting pretty dinged up. Tackled through the damage to do what I can there. Took him out with the tomahawk swing. There we can really see some of the just damage potential on that downswing with that. Tried to get around my ally with that shot, but as you can see, I did not manage to land it. This sort of tight corridor is really tricky to try and have. Well, it's pretty much impossible to have two people fight on, if we're going to be honest. Did manage to get that hit. Quite happy about that. And I'm now going to move up to do what supporting I can. Getting ready with a stun. There we go. Into downswing. Got him. And then I get stuck on my ally. Drifted a little bit too far because of the hover feet. It happens. It's something you kind of have to get used to. Hovering suits are really neat. They have a mobility that most things don't, but you kind of have to learn how to not drift too far in one direction or the other. Ally took him out the rest of the way, so that's pretty good. I didn't get an assist on that, which did surprise me, so I guess I did not do as much damage to it as I thought I had. A little bit sad. If I'd gotten the downswing on him, I definitely would have, but, you know, we didn't wouldn't manage to pull that off, sadly. Yeah. So right now, everybody's kind of spawning back in. Our forces are looking a little rough. Got Zeta coming in over the top in Wave Rider form. I get some good hits on him right there. I'm trying to hang back a little bit. As you can see, I've only got like 300 points of health left. And I think right here, yeah, I try to tackle through his beam. I know what he's doing, so I move in, try to do a tackle to close distance and get through his damage, but tackle didn't quite take quick enough, and so he still got that damage anyway and finished me off. Looks like they've mopped up most of our team, sadly. Not really surprising, as we had a lot of dings, but we had secured a good lead prior to that, so we are still at the advantage. Enemy team is forming up, moving forward. I was trying to get a bead on, I forget which number it was, but I was trying to get that target on one of the specific opponents, and it just didn't want to target the one I wanted. I've been having that happen a lot. Don't really get why. It's quite frustrating, but I'm trying to just stay out of the way of damage here. I think I accidentally spawned in my suit. I must have bumped a button, because you can see it dropped right there. I didn't even realize that was me at first, because I did not mean to drop down like that. I'm just focusing on not getting stepped on for the moment. Missed my bazooka shot. Would have been nice to get that stun on the Zeta, but now you can see they've already done a lot of damage to my suit, and again, I didn't even notice that was mine. So I'm popping in with less than half health. Not ideal at all. Surrounded by enemies, unfortunately. It looks like allies took out a good chunk of them, but I've still got 2 around me, and I bounced off of the Mark II here. Swapping weapons ultimately, I think, ends up being my undoing here. I tried to swap to, because with some of the weapons, the idea is sort of, I swap to one, and then instead of having the cooldown, I just have the ready up of the other. But the ready up of the Heat Tomahawk is so large that that didn't help at all. His cooldown ended up being quicker. Plus, there was, you know, other enemies there and whatnot to contend with as well. I probably should have just stuck with the Heat Saber and used that instead. So, a little bit sad about that. A little bit unfortunate. But at least we got full health now. And the iframes help us get forward a little bit. Enemies are not spawned in yet, though, so there's not really anything for me to go after at the moment. I'm currently looking for a good angle to move up to. Trying to go up here so that, again, I have that closer position where I can move in without being out in the open. And I managed to close in on their double Zeta. Yeah, that's just the regular double Zeta. Or full armor? No, I think it's just the double Zeta. Anyways, you can see that Tomahawk damage doing its job, too. Tomahawk is fantastic. I did manage to nick his shield with the downswing on the Tomahawk, which is great. I wish I could have hit his feet instead. With that low-angled swing like that, a lot of times it does manage to hit the feet. But no, I just hit his shield. Took out his shield at least, but he's still up and moving. I'm trying to move in, get some damage in. Got some hits, but you can see I am kind of running low on boost. Missed that downswing. Out of weapons to use, too. And I didn't manage to actually secure that kill. If I could have landed that Tomahawk downswing, gotten that damage and that knockdown, probably could have finished him off. I don't know if the Tomahawk alone would have been enough to finish him off. But any follow-up absolutely would have been. So that's a little bit sad, a little bit unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. I probably could have landed the hit if I used this thing more and was better with the distancing on that and, like, the hovering stuff and whatnot. Or he would have tackled me anyway because he would have recognized that I would have actually hit him. So, probably would not have worked out for me anyway with that sort of approach. Probably would have needed him stunned or needed to know for sure he was out of boost. But, what can you do? You learn, you move forward from there. But, yeah, it was a fun match, at least. A lot of my team did all of the heavy lifting there, really, but it was still a really fun match. It's a really fun suit to actually take out. I want to say there are 2 with the Beam Tomahawk. I may be wrong about that, with that big, heavy downswing like that, and that is such a satisfying downswing to get off when you just, boom. Fantastic. But that is the end of that video, and we will see what I have next time.